Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to yet another fourth and fabulous episode of Glyphs of a fantastic platform. Glyphs essentially means the representation of a character. And what better way to identify what a person truly is than to observe what he loves from within him? That's why the name Glyphs. It also stands for being a symbol that represents something beyond the face value. And so, to highlight what we wish to do, we have chosen three symbols or three glyphs to represent what the concept is all about. Those symbols are what you just saw in the logo. They stand for create, connect, and express, or CCE. Like we say, hashtag passion matters. Glyphs aims to be a platform where you indulge in to identify the passion created within you, connect with each other, and openly and ingenuously express your thoughts and passions. Now, as to why we started the channel, all of us have that one thing in our life that makes us really, really happy. We might call it a liking, a talent, a desire, or even a passion. It is the one thing that is completely unique to us. It can be that you love to sing or to play an instrument. You could be passionate about photography, painting, doodling, or even stone balancing. This might be something that you are not necessarily doing as your work. In fact, it is better if you have a passion that helps you to unwind and enjoy your own company. The reason why we thought to create this channel was so that we could all become a part of a community of people that are bound together by mutual love and respect for all kinds of passions. It is meant to encourage us to keep pursuing our passions. It is meant to have a group of people who see, learn, and appreciate the things that you do. And it is also an avenue where you can find out about the so many, many different kinds of activities that could potentially become your passion. And that's exactly what we are here to do. Create, connect, and express. So again, it's wonderful to connect with such a lovely audience on a lovely Sunday evening. My name is Kavita Avasti, and I'm going to be your host for today evening. It is going to be my pleasure to connect the entire audience to two of our wonderful guests. I take great pride in sharing with our audience that we have a house full today with over 100 people, of course, besides the innumerable people who have joined us on FB Live. So, again, on behalf of Team Glyphs, a very warm welcome to all of you to this wonderful Sunday evening. Our two guests for today. One, who will take you through a palette of emotions through puppetry, where her puppets will come alive for us. And for the second, hop in for a safari to the animal kingdom. We humans say that the animals can't talk, but they do, if only we listen. So, time to start our first guest. Sometimes lifeless things provide us with better feelings, which no one else can. Our speaker here today did something very unique. She brought to life the so-called lifeless puppets, who now not only speak her language, but also convey their own feelings to us humans. Yogaja Kulkarni, whose first puppet itself was 4 feet in height, and it was used for a natak for the prestigious Grips Theatre. This puppet was an absolute hit, and more than 500 kids instantly fell in love with this puppet. That's the natak that you can see on your screens there, and that's the puppet, the 4 feet high puppet that she made. That's the puppet, yes. Since then, she hasn't looked back and has made more than 105 designs of puppets, and she has produced, now please listen to this, a whopping number of 23,000 puppets till date. That's wonderful. Yogaja uses these puppets for what she calls infotainment, information and entertainment. So Yogaja, that brings me to my first question for today. What is the history behind your passion, and how did you fall in love with these puppets? Our audience would love to know. Yogaja, over to you.
Thank you so much for a wonderful introduction. This is really heartwarming. As kids, we all have our favorite cartoons. And as we grow up, we always have them at the back of the mind. Not so much so that even today, if we stumble upon one of the pictures of those cartoons, say it could be Tintin or anything that was in the memory, your whole childhood would stand up in front of you. The entire, we'll be transported back to all the childhood memories that we had and all the people were in that. At one such point, I was gifted a set of puppets of my favorite cartoon characters, the Powerpuff Girls. And since then, I could only see my childhood stars on TV and who were speaking their own language. But suddenly I had them in my hand and they were talking the thoughts I wanted. I could make them talk as I wanted, and that gave me a lot of power. So this is something that always I had at the back of the mind. And thanks to the same things that I do now. So, everything and destiny had to play a great role in this. Everything just matched up, and this is how I am now pursuing this as my passion as well. So this is how I came to this as a passion.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Yogaja. For our audience here, we would love to hear your comments. We would love to hear your thoughts in our chat box. Just ensure that you select panelists and attendees before you put in an answer so that all of us know what you are thinking. So moving on, there is a mindset or a myth amongst people that puppets are only used for entertainment. But we know that teachers and child therapists use puppets for various teaching purposes. In fact, puppets are also used by teachers to demonstrate proper pronunciations, develop language skills of kids. So Yogaja, how have you been applying this passion of puppets for various purposes? Yogaja?
So, yes. So primarily what happens is, yes, we all are in the myth, or we can say we all are in the thought process that puppets are always entertainment. But no, as you rightly said, puppets can be a good source of information development. Some people use it for phonics. Some people can also use it for therapy. So there is a concept known as puppet therapy or therapeutic puppetry, which has come in, evolved many years from now. Especially when we work with child psychiatrists or with people who write content for kids, these things come into play where there could be uh, a few children who do not perceive things or color or texture as it should be. So, if at all there was an example of a kid where the kid couldn't understand that uh, an apple is red in color, and why is an apple red in color? But when apple puppet was made for the kid, and it's still the apple puppet itself said that okay, I am an apple and I am red in color. So the impact that it creates on the brain of that kid was much more. So personifying objects has been one of the major things where puppetry has worked in. And thanks to all the doctors, all the child psychiatrists out there who are really helping kids with this. So yes, it is a myth that it is only used for entertainment. It is also used for education purposes and other things that go along with it. So it
Beautiful.
is.
What a concept. A puppet dressed as an apple saying that I am an apple. Of course, it creates a pictorial memory. Beautiful. Yes, Yogaja, so with so much of knowledge and passion about puppets, where do you want to take this passion to the next level to? What do you think you want to see your passion taking you to in the future? Please let us know.
So basically, if you see number of and various puppets that we have, or various puppets that people would like to know about, are finger puppets. They could be string puppets. We call them as marionettes. So it depends on who is using it. If it is a baby, if it is a 2 months baby, then using a big muppet or a life-size puppet can be a little scary to that. But when I said, as you rightly saw, the audience that was there, for them, a 4 feet puppet was important. So it could be marionettes, string puppets, and this to be used in various infotainment activities. So infotainment activities are entertainment plus information giving activities for kids. So yes, we would like to work more with, take our passion to that level where everyone is enjoying the puppets as well as getting informed through them, and that they talk your language.
Lovely. What a beautiful thought, Yogaja. Thank you so much. So, friends, are you ready to move into the unknown world of puppets? I think it's time for our tradition, the Glyphs quiz. Get your chat boxes ready. The questions are coming up. Okay? So, for the first one, what is the most famous Indian form of puppets that we have? What is the name of the Indian puppets which we know them as? Yes, we have the answers coming in absolutely fast. Most of you have answered correctly. The first one is, of course, Vaishali. Yes, it is called the Kachputli. It originates from Rajasthan, and in India, it has become synonymous with the puppets. That's right. Okay, that was an easy one. For the next one, for all of you who don't know, ventriloquism is the art of throwing your voice. It means the puppeteer talks, but it feels like the puppet is talking. That's what we call ventriloquism. My question to you is, who is India's first professional ventriloquist? Wow, that was fast, Purva. That's right, yes. The first professional ventriloquist was Ramdas, or is Ramdas Padhye. He had a couple pair, which was very famous with the name of Ardhavat Rao and Audabai. Yes, in fact, his dad Yashwant Padhye used to make the puppets, and now his son Satyajit is also into this. There are three generations completely into puppets. Okay, moving on. I know this is a very easy answer, but yet I want to see how attentive all of you are. I want you to name the movie in which the puppet played a character where it was a horror movie. Wow, Pratik, yes, at least let me complete the question. Yes, that's right. And what was the name of the character? Zapat Lela is the name of the Marathi movie. What was the name of the character? That's right, Vaishnavi. It was Tatya Vinsu. It was directed by by Mahesh Kothare. Now, what I think a lot of you might not be knowing is this character became so famous, the movie became so famous that it was remade in 32 different Indian languages and 5 foreign languages. That was the success of the movie Zapat Lela. Yes, okay. Now for the last question, okay? The great Amitabh Bachchan, during one of the Filmfare Awards, saw Ramesh Padhye performing on stage. He was so impressed with the performance that Amitabh decided that he would play the role of a ventriloquist in one of his upcoming movies. What is the name of the movie in which he played the ventriloquist? Yes, this one's going to get you thinking. What is the name of the movie? Yes, Bahar, that is right. That is the movie in which Amitabh had a triple role. The name of the movie is Mahan. They placed the cameras in such a way that it felt like the puppets were talking and Amitabh was throwing the voice. So it was a fabulous combination of great camera work and a great role done by the great Amitabh Bachchan, not to mention Ramdas Padhye, of course. So now we have a wonderful surprise that Yogaja has put together for us. She and her team have put together something where her puppets are going to come alive. So I think Yogaja, over to you to introduce the next part of the program.
Thank you so much. So good evening, everyone. Once again, now we will have a special performance by Girish Dharak and Sneha Tamankar along with the puppets. This skit is written and conceived by Mr. Girish Dharak from Sagrama Consultancy Services Private Limited, presented by Yogaja Kulkarni, My Puppet Story, co-starring Sneha Tamankar from Sneha Tamankar Photography. So presenting Yum, Puppets and Food Packets. Characters, Yum, Girish Dharak. Gattu and Hathi, puppets played by Sneha. So enjoy Yum, Puppets and Food Packets.
Good evening, good evening. Swagatam, suswagatam. Yum hai hum hai yum. ये नाटक समर्पित है उन दाल गुनक कॉफी बनाने वालों के लिए, फेसबुक सारी चैलेंज वालों के लिए, घर में बैठ के लूडो खेलने वालों के लिए, या फिर FB लाइव करने वालों गट्टू को ले जाने के लिए। कहाँ है रे गट्टू, किधर है?
कुछ भी फेंक मत तू। और यम, यम तो भैंस पे आता है, तो जूम पे so much visibility and that also leads to credit.
अबे चुप। चल मेरे साथ, यम हूं मैं।
तो पहले प्रूव कर that you are यम। तेरी तो मूछें भी नहीं है। And how do you know my address?
मूर्ख बालक, कल रात को मेरी बैठक हुई थी। बैठक मतलब ये नहीं, मीटिंग हुई थी, मीटिंग ब्रह्मदेव और चित्रगुप्त के साथ। और तू हमारा नेक्स्ट टारगेट है, चल मेरे साथ।
मैं नहीं आऊंगा, हट। तुमने तो मास्क भी नहीं पहना है। सब लोग कहते हैं कि मास्क पहनो। ग्रिप्स की कविता दीदी और अनुष्का दीदी तो लुई फिलिप का ही मास्क पहनती है।
कोरोना, चलो ना। अरे मेरा बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है यार, टारगेट कंप्लीट ही नहीं हो पा रहा।
ऑफ कोर्स ब्रो, हमारे डॉक्टर्स, नर्सेस, गवर्नमेंट और हम सब इतना अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं कि तुम्हें तो ऐसे ही खाली हाथ जाना पड़ेगा।
हाँ यार, बात तो तेरी सही है। अच्छा गट्टू, मैं काम करता हूँ, तेरा वो दोस्त है ना हाथी, हाथी, मैं उसको लेके जाता हूँ। ही हो, ही हो, ही हो।
यम अंकल, वो हाथी है, गधा नहीं। आप रुको, मैं उसको बुलाता हूँ। आप उससे बोलो, बातें करो, मुझे जाना है। मम्मी ने बहुत अर्जेंट काम दिया है, यू नो।
अर्जुन का, वो भी लॉकडाउन में? वो क्या भला?
अरे कुछ नहीं, पापा बर्तन साफ करे, मैं नजर रखूंगा।
हाँ ठीक है, पर तुम क्यों नजर रखोगे?
कल उन्होंने वीम की जगह रीन से बर्तन धोए, तो पता है मम्मी बहुत चिल्लाई, और मम्मी ने उनको बोला
क्या
आपको
बोलोगे?
अक्ल नहीं है। कल आपने जो कपड़े से फर्श साफ किया वो मेरा नया ड्रेस था। ये मोदी जी और उद्धव जी को मैं बोलूंगी।
क्या बोलूंगी? बर्तन?
बाकी सब ठीक है, ये लॉकडाउन जल्दी खत्म करो। ये आदमी ऑफिस में ही अच्छा है।
ये आदमी कौन है बेटा?
मेरा बाप, आई मीन पापा, पापा, मेरे पापा। ऐसे क्या बोला?
बेटा, तुम जाओ, पापा बर्तन धो रहे हैं और इनसे जाके नजर रखो, और वो हाथी को भेज दो। जाओ ना, जाओ जाओ। बाय बाय बाय। सॉरी ऑडियंस, क्या है, नन्ना सा मुन्ना सा प्यारा सा गट्टू है, मोदी जी उद्धव जी बर्तन। नहीं नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं। मैं क्या करता हूँ, मैं आपको मेरा थोड़ा इंट्रो कराता हूँ। वो हाथी आता ही होगा। तो आई एम यम, यम है हम। एंड आपके घर में भी ऐसे कोई लोग हैं जो बिना बाल के बाहर निकल रहे हैं, या जो ये मास्क नहीं पहनते, या जो भटक रहे हैं किसी वजह से, तो आप उनका नंबर मुझे दीजिए और उन्हें बताइए, मतलब ये
ओए,
कीजिए। सो आप
ओए यम, तू काय को आया? बात सुन, अभी यहाँ ज्यादा ना मटक, अपने भैंस को लेके यहाँ से जल्दी सटक। सैनिटाइजर से मैं मारता हूँ सारे कीटक। प्रोग्राम ज्यादा देर चला ना तो चिल्लेगी किसकी गायत्री फाटक।
अटक मटक सवई सटक।
ए, ओ,
हाँ 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 हाँ, समझ गया मैं, समझ गया समझ गया। और वो चलो चलो मेरे साथ, यम हूं मैं। हाथी चलो।
मैं तुम्हारे साथ आऊंगा, जरूर आऊंगा, लेकिन जाओ जाओ, जाके पहले वैशाली का डोसा लेके आओ, सुजाता की मस्तानी, नेचुरल्स का आइसक्रीम, ब्लू नाइल की बिरयानी, मार्जोरिन के सैंडविचेस, गार्डन का वड़ा पाव, दुर्गा की कोल्ड कॉफी, गुड लक का बन मस्का, श्रेयस की थाली, बेड़ीकर की मिसल, या एटलीस्ट पीवाईसी का ब्रेकफास्ट भी चलेगा, और फिर मैं साइन करूंगा। I mean, और ये सब खा के तुम्हारे साथ आऊंगा। हाय
हाय। अबे हाथी, बात सुन, मैं यम हूं, यम। मैं जीनी नहीं हूं। क्या हुक्म है मेरी आके? कोई तो इज्जत करो यार, मेरा टारगेट है यार। चल भाई चल, जल्दी चल। वैसे क्यों नहीं आओगे तुम?
एंटरटेनमेंट, एंटरटेनमेंट, एंटरटेनमेंट।
आई लव विद्या बालन।
सावट।
हाँ हाँ हाँ, ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है। कोई लॉजिकल रीजन बताओ, लॉजिकल रीजन क्यों नहीं आओगे मेरे साथ?
मैं इतने साल से इस धरती पे है, क्या मैंने कभी किसी को तंग किया?
नहीं।
क्या मैं कभी कचरा डालता हूँ?
नहीं।
क्या कभी बिना बात के किसी से झगड़ता हूँ?
बिल्कुल नहीं। इनकलाब जिंदाबाद, अंग्रेजों भारत छोड़ो।
तो अगर मैं ये सब धरती का ख्याल करता हूँ तो क्यों मुझे लेके जाओगे? बोलो यम, बोलो, जवाब दो। बातें करो मुझसे, बातें करो, अब तक मेरा सर खा रहे हो। बातें करो यम, बातें करो।
बाबूशाह, जिंदगी और मौत तो ऊपर वाले के हाथ है, जा अपना जितना तो आप बदल।
यम 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 यम,
ए कैरेक्टर यम हाँ 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 वैसे तेरी बात तो सही है हाथी। ठीक है, मैं तुझे छोड़ देता हूँ। देखता हूँ कोई ड्रिफ्ट वाले का घर है। काय रे, मला एक सांग, पुण्याचा का तू, पुण्याचा? हा?
आयला तुला कसं कळलं? हा
कसं आहे, एक तर तुझा हिंदी ऍक्सेंट आणि दुसरं म्हणजे काहीही न विचारता मला पाजळलेली अक्कल लगेच लक्षात येतं. कारण पुणेकरांना सगळं कळतं, पुणेकरांना सगळं येतं आणि पुणेकरांना सगळं माहितीये. ग्लिप्स वाले धरून. एनीवे एनीवे, अब मैं चलता हूँ, और मुझे कहीं और भी जाना है. यू स्टे होम, स्टे सेफ. और हाथी, मेरे पीछे जोर से बोलो, 2 बार बोलो, जय माता दी नहीं, जोर से बोलो, गो कोरोना गो, गो कोरोना
गो
गो, गो कोरोना.
गो.
नमस्कार.
Wow, that was absolutely wonderful, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What a script. What a fabulous delivery. Such cute puppets. Thank you so much, Girish. Thank you so much, Neha. And of course, thank you so much, Yogaja. इन ॲनिमेटेड पपेट्सनी आपल्याला इतकं सुंदर ॲनिमेटेड स्टोरी ऐकवली. वाव, दॅट्स ॲब्सोल्युटली ब्युटिफुल. पुणेकर, ऐकलत ना? येस. वंडरफुल. थँक्यू सो मच फॉर दिस.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
We're going on mute. Thank you.
So, friends, exactly what is glyphs? They say passion is your version of magic within you and around you. With the power that a passion can have, you never know who you may inspire, who you may make smile or cry with joy. It doesn't need to be fancy. Passion is at its best in its simplest form. Think about the people around you. There are so many of your friends, relatives, siblings, and colleagues who have this innate ability to create magic. Then, what is stopping us? Let's come together and create waves of happiness, of magic, and learnings together. Friends, this is a free channel which shall showcase performances on 2 days every week, Thursdays and Sundays. The time for which will be notified to everyone through our Facebook page by the name of Glyphs, Create, Connect, and Express. So each of you can be a part of this. In fact, we would love it if each of you could be a part of this. We shall be eagerly waiting for you to join us. Before we move on, over to Gayatri and for her to tell us how you can be a part of Glyphs. Gayatri, over to you.
Thank you, Kavita. We sure have a lovely audience here today on this beautiful Sunday evening. Just look at the chat box go wild after this awesome puppet show that we had. That's amazing. What is passion after all? Passion is your mirror. Passion is something that is sculpted by each of us within ourselves. And that is something that you created, and no one can take it away from you, no matter what. In just 15 days since we started, the Glyphs community has spread to various states and cities in India. We have Mumbai, Mangalore, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Jammu, Delhi, and of course, our very own Pune. And talking about global, we have reached countries like USA, UK, Australia, Austria, Kuwait, Dubai, Africa. This is awesome, right? And you know what? One thing is very, very strikingly common among the entire Glyphs community. They all agree that passion moves people beyond themselves. It inspires one another and rebuilds a world of joy around them. Sounds exciting, doesn't it? So take a moment and think to yourself, would you also like to be a part of such a wonderful, powerful community? At Glyphs, we invite all passionate people to join hands. Each week, we will have 4 people talking about their passion or performing something about their passion. We would be having people who have art as their passion, which could be painting, sculpture, or architecture, or maybe music, film, theater, dance, literature. We would also be having people spreading knowledge and awareness about their passion, which we call as Glyph Talks. I'm going to share with you 3 simple ways of being a part of Glyphs. 1. Join us every week for our episodes just as you are a part of us today. And spread the inspiration of passion by sharing these episodes with your friends and family on Facebook and Instagram. Second is to get in touch with us to be a participant on this channel. And the third is to refer a friend or relative who you would love to see on a Glyphs episode. Let's do something fun right now, should we? What we're going to do is we're going to run a quick small poll over here on your screen right now. Can we please have the poll go live? On your screen, you will see a poll. The poll has options, all right? You can click one or multiple options. It is up to you. There is no restriction. Click any one of them and click submit. We would love to know what you're thinking right now. I'm going to give you another about 20 seconds to finish the poll. Thank you, Parag. All above for you. Lovely to hear that. All right. I think everyone must be done with their poll. Should we close it, please? And we can also publish the results if we can. Anirudh, do we have the results of the poll? Amazing. Just look at it. It is so amazing to see this kind of audience with us. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. All right. So I would like to end with a small message. Your passion is your power. Unleash it, live it, and experience the magic within you. Back to you, Kavita. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Gayatri, and thank you so much, audience, for giving us some fabulous responses on that poll. Moving on to the next part of our program, since we've spoken so much about passion. A wonderful quote by the person himself who will be talking next. He says, "Passion is not about what it gives me. It is about what I can give my passion." So this is what our next speaker for today firmly believes in. Before I introduce Sanjay, I actually want to talk about a beautiful poem which has been written by Tanushri, the founder of Glyphs CCE. These words are actually some touching words from the animals to us humans. You move me from my place of peace. You stir within me an inexplicable storm. Tear me open to my vulnerabilities, leaving me confused about where I belong. This, of course, represents the state, some of the state in which our forests are. So Sanjay Deshpande, a wildlife enthusiast who fell in love with the forest, in love with the wildlife at the young age of 15, when he went with his friends on a school trip to Merghat. After he returned, he says he left a part of his heart back there. And yet, it took him 20 long years to return to his first love, his passion, Merghat. A passion so profound that he says he does not cry for the animals. He cries with the animals. Sanjay is an eminent builder by profession and the director of the company Sanjeevani Builders. He has a beautiful philosophy which shows his passion about the forest. He says, you should always consider yourself a child of the forest and that it is nature that parents you. That brings me to my first question, Sanjay, for you. What is it about the forest that made you fall in love with it? Sanjay, over to you.
Hi everyone, and thanks Kavita and Salil and all Glitch team. First of all, actually, after listening and after viewing the puppet show, I think you should seriously think about passion unlocked to these episodes. Actually, when we all are in lockdown, is the
Yes.
passion which can unlock doors for us. And thank you all. Okay, about your question regarding forest, and now as you have named me, I try to live by it, child of forest. Rather, every time when I watch right from my younger days, somehow I used to envy that Mowgli character, Chaddi Pen ke Phool Khilaya sort of thing. That is the real child of forest, you can say. And well, what is forest for me? It's like what are my parents for me? When I say I'm child of forest, what do we think about our parents? Can you imagine a life without our parents around us? No, we can't imagine. Agreed, someday things change, but sometimes you stay away from your parents. Sometimes you may not be in touch with them day to day, but at certain level you are always connected to them by some unseen bond. I think that's the forest for me. And when I went first time to my first forest, real forest visit, though as I said, I am from a small town in Vidarbha. And first time when I had a look, okay, this is the photograph of one of the forest, just showing you the landscape. This is not from Melghat, but the real forest is like it just surrounds you. Like Jain, they say, it surrounds. You are in and out of everything. You are it, and it is you. So there only I realized, and I always believed, Kavita, ki whatever your age may be, it's not you who finds your passion finds you always. You have to be you have to be just open to that. And there I was too young to understand that my passion has found me, but it has found me and it remains somewhere inside me. 20 years later, when I again was traveling through that zone, I realized ki till that time I was lost totally in concrete jungle. And you say ki I am a builder. Obviously, we build concrete jungles. We try to maintain it. But coming back, I took two routes. There were two routes passing to Pune coming from Amravati, and I took again the route from Melghat. And that day, that moment, I realized ki my passion has found me 20 years back, and I'm still there and still waiting for me. Maybe it may sound too philosophic, but then nature is philosophic. Nature makes you philosophic. And from there, that must be again at the age of some 34, 35. And then now this time I have found that passion has found me. And then the journey is on. Once you know it has hit you, it's like that Hotel Pennsylvania picture, that it's a zing thing. So the forest is zing for me, and it's going on now. And so as much as you can try, and then you try to know forest, then you try to understand forest. Then you once you understand forest, then you realize ki at any time, any given time, you can be in forest. And about what forest has given me, there are 3,000 tigers in India, and more than that, builders in Pune. 5,000 builders must be in Pune. And out of that, Sanjay Deshpande is on this platform as a passion because of only forest. That's forest of me.
Wow. Thank you, Sanjay. That was really nice. So, audience, I did tell you in the beginning that we are going to take you on a wildlife safari. And that safari is the quiz that I'm going to take you on. So, again, please keep your chat boxes ready. We start the quiz for all our wildlife enthusiasts who are here with us today. The first one for today: which is the first wildlife sanctuary of India? I want you to put in the chat box, what's the name of the first wildlife sanctuary to India? This also goes for our FB enthusiasts who are watching us. Yes, that's right. We do have quickly some answers there. The correct answer is Jim Corbett. That's right. It was named after Jim Corbett, who was a well-known naturalist, and this is also the first park to take up the initiative of Project Tiger. So Jim Corbett, it is the first wildlife sanctuary of India. And the next question, we know which is the first one. Which is the largest wildlife sanctuary in India? For the people watching us on FB also, we would love to know. It's not Ranthambore. Nope, it's not Jim Corbett, Atul. It's not Kanha, not Kaziranga. Come on, guys. The largest sanctuary that we have in India. To the people on FB also, keep your answers going. No, it's not Bandipur. I'll give you another 10 seconds. And it's not Pench. Nope, that's not the one. No, okay, it's not Tadoba as well. The largest wildlife sanctuary is the Rann of Kutch. It is in Kutch in Gujarat. Yes, it is also famous for its white salty desert, and it is reputed to be the largest salt desert in the world. Yes. So that is about some trivia about sanctuaries. Now it's time for some trivia about Sanjay. He writes a column for the Sakar newspaper. He supports the forests in MP and Maharashtra for providing basic necessities to the caretakers of the jungle, like caps, footwear, and shirts. He works as a conduit between the forest department and the corporates. He gets corporate funding so that the villages around the forests can be rehabilitated and grasslands can be made for grazing. Sanjay, this reminds me of a very beautiful and a very apt quote by Winston Churchill. He says, "You make a living by what you get, but you make a life by what you give." So Sanjay is not only preaching what he not only practicing what he preaches, but he's also ensuring the life of his passion. Which brings me to my next question, Sanjay. All of us know that to pursue this passion, it is not easy. So what difficulties have you faced in this passion of conservation of forests? Please do tell us about it.
Okay, Kavita, my personal experiences about passion is most people misunderstood hobby or recreation fun with passion. Again, philosophical, but yes, that's it. That's the way it is. Because not necessarily every time your passion comes to you easily and you are happy what doing you are. But the beauty of passion is even the discomfort during pursuing that passion, you can take it with smile. It's like a stranger hitting you kaan ke niche and your mom hitting you kaan ke niche. So you will always take your mom's kaan ke niche with much more ease than a stranger hitting you. So whatever discomfort comes to pursuing my passion and all those things, fine, they are there. But if you survive, if you come over with that particular difficulties, I think then you really deserve your passion to carry you. Speaking about difficulties and discomforts se zyada, I will see difficulties like this. See, when you say wildlife conservation, many people mix wildlife photography or their wildlife love by what their great pictures they have clicked, what great locations they have gone with wildlife conservation. No, it is not. It is wildlife photography and sharing your photographs, it one of just the aspect of the wildlife conservation. If you consider yourself as a wildlife conservation is our passion, then you have to understand the forest, and under forest is not just tiger. Forest is people living around it. Forest is trees. Forest is persons working actually in the forest. As it's very easy to sit in Pune and Mumbai or AC cabins and download our photographs of wildlife photography and share it and get likes, but it's very difficult to live adjoining the border of the real forest where tigers roam in the open, where, as this photograph on the screen you guys must be seeing, to get a bottle of water, you have to travel 2 kilometers, and that kilometers journey is through open jungle where a tiger or leopard can attack you, even the bison can attack you. It's very nice and very comfortable to share a nice photograph of a male tiger roaring on Facebook or clicking it, but it's equally scaring when you are living adjoining to that tiger's territory and you have got all a thatched roof and mud hut, and your small kid is playing outside of your hut, and then you say you love tiger, and then you say you want to save the tiger. I am sure 90% of the people will never take the name of the tiger after that kind of experience.
True.
So the most difficult part in the wildlife conservation taking as a passion is to make people understand what is wildlife. Wildlife is not just clicking photographs. Wildlife is not just going to every sanctuary and telling that I am a wildlifer. Wildlife is trying to make people understand what is forest. Wildlife is understanding forest. In one day, nobody understands forest. In years, people don't understand forest. And then wildlife is trying to reach out to every that person who can be a probable threat to the wildlife. Like probable threat, there are two types of threats. One is poaching, where people kill animal like tiger for making money, and one is people kill animal for their survival. Means, as I'm telling you, you are a small farmer and your farm is adjoining to some forest, and that 1 acre or something farm, whatever crop it gives per year, your family depends on that. One single night or one single evening, a herd of deer came and entire your crop is gone. Tell me whether you will love that forest or deer. Your first attempt will be kill all the deers. So this is to make those people understand that agreed, you are going to be sufferer. It's like staying on the border. Means on border always war is going on and firing comes from our neighboring countries, and the person whose home gets totally destroyed by the bombing, ask him about patriotism. It's very difficult. So what I try to do is try to reach out as much as I can to the people who are around the forest, in the forest, and help them in my best way. And that's the difficulty, because people don't understand. See, I will give you one simple example. This is the summer season, which is the best of the season for going for forest and seeing the tiger, because in the central India there are less water at this time, and maximum tigers are seen in Tadoba, Bandhavgarh, Kana type forest this time. So from Pune and Bombay and Bangalore, in these 3 months, all bookings are full, and for one tiger safari or one trip, one person must be spending 50,000 at least per head, or 40,000 including travel, stay and all thing around. Okay. This year, nobody has gone to forest. This year, nobody went to forest because of the lockdown. Okay. How many of them have contributed that money to the forest conservation?
So true.
Why? Nobody even thought about that. And right now, the people staying around the forest are jobless. They don't have their entire yearly income depend upon this kind of season. And now this season is gone. And imagine one tiger cost in international market 3 crores of rupees. Tigers, every part is sellable in the international market. And imagine the people living around that, guides, the laborers and the staff working in the various resorts of the hotels around the forest and all those things. They all are jobless. Nobody is helping them. What they will do? They will succumb to the poachers for few bucks. And entire your effort of save tiger is gone. This is the difficult part of it, to make people understand. I don't know a single family who has donated this year's forest trip to that particular forest. They should have done it.
Yes.
See, forest has given you so much pleasure, so much of joy. What you have given it. See, here is the difference between calling yourself passionate wildlifer and a general wildlife photographer. Because passionate wildlifer will think, forest has given me so much of joy. What I have given back to forest?
So true.
That's the
Absolutely. I think this is the harsh reality that some of us have to face. We only think about it as a trip or an excursion, and we don't really think about it. Thank you, Sanjay. I think this is an eye-opener for a lot of people who just think of a jungle trip as a trip and not as a passion. Wow. Okay. Friends, besides what Sanjay had to share with us, there are some very interesting but yet lesser known facts about the forest and the wildlife. I'm going to ask you, I want to see how many of you know about what I'm talking about. Okay, so get ready for the next question. Which country in the world has the maximum tigers? Please listen carefully. Which country in the world is known to have the maximum tigers? No, Amit, it is not India, which is why I said listen carefully. If you Google, it'll probably show you India. That's not what I'm asking about. Which country in the world has the maximum number of tigers? It's going to be a little shocking when I answer, but yes. No, it's not Siberia. It's not Bangladesh. No, it's not Bhutan. Africa, no. Okay, listen to what I have to say. Yes, Apurva, that's right. The answer is USA. Yes, Aarti, that's right. The answer is USA. They have about 4,000 tigers in the USA. The sad part is all these tigers are in captivity. That's the really sad part of it. 4,000 plus tigers in the US and all of them in captivity. Of course, the reason for it being that it is legal, you can actually take a license to keep wild animals as pets in your backyard, so to say. So if you were to visit the USA, you'll probably find loads of animals, tigers, crocodiles in your backyard. So the answer to that is the USA. The next question. Besides India, where else in the world would you find lions roaming freely in the wild? Besides India, where else would you find lions roaming freely in the wild? No, it's not Africa, Amit. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. It is Africa. That's right. Africa is the continent which has lions roaming around freely in the wild. They have lions in Tanzania, Kenya, Zimbabwe, Zambia, and to name a few. Of course, there are a lot of other places. In India, the tigers are at the moment found in the Gir forest of Saurashtra, but the government has come up with a project where they are relocating tigers to MP. So hopefully by the end of 2021, we will see some tigers in MP in India as well. Yes. So Sanjay, to talk about Sanjay, he has written and published 2 books. The first one is Shades of Greys and Green, and the second one is Words of a Wildlifer. He has explained a lot of situations that are happening in the forest, but we would like to hear from you, Sanjay. What is the current situation of these forests in India?
In always Hindi movies they ask कि पहले क्या सुनना चाहोगे, अच्छी बात या बुरी बात? So it's I am a pessimist and I always like to go with a positive approach. So अच्छी बात पहले. Best part is since 2014 India's tiger population is increasing, and it was at some 20 years back it was, see, again figures may here and there move. It's not about figures. I always say when it's wildlife and nature, don't go by figures, go by feelings, go by what you see, what you feel, because even if I say there are a lot of tigers moving in some area and you don't see a single tiger, you will say you are liar, your figures don't match. So figures are just sort of, you can say, like to give you idea about something. So some 20 years back the tiger population was hit as low as 1500 to 1600. It was on the verge of extinct from India. Okay, and India is known for getting lost to many good animals like cheetah. Last cheetah was seen in 1932 in India, and now there is no cheetah. So there was a time some 20-25 years back where we could have lost tigers also. But touchwood, to every forest department and every person living around forest and working for forest, unseen faces, but great job with limited resources. They have done a miracle. India is the only country in world who has increased the population of tigers, and it's very difficult. Now we have got near about 3,000 tigers. So in 20 years we doubled it. So this is a good news. This is a very good news. I will tell you. See, why tiger? Every time people say it should not be tiger centric and wildlife is about every animal. Yes, I agree. Wildlife, a true wildlifer considers every animal important. Why we are talking about tiger is like a biggest, largest predator in Indian forest, and presence of tiger means that's a healthiness of jungle. See, when you say about a man's health, you don't count his just age. You count his body mass index. We count his cholesterol. We count his BP. We count his sugar level. All these things. But what is most important of that kind of the weight? And I know every lady is much more concerned about weight. So what is the most important aspect about a lady? It's my weight. Mera wajan kitna hai. So same way, if you say it's a scale of measuring the health of a forest, tiger come at the top. Means when tiger is present in some forest, he needs that kind of surrounding, he needs that kind of habitat. Tiger can't, like captivity in forest, tiger can't survive on his own. He needs forest, he needs grass, he needs prey based like deer and many other animals. Those animals need their habitat. So a chain gets completed by the existence of a tiger. That's why tiger. Please, all those who are listening, don't consider that this talk show or sharing is about tiger. This is about wildlife. We are taking tiger as just a example or a role model of side of thing. Like you can't complete Bollywood without Amitabh Bachchan. Same way. So now coming back to the our question, yes, tiger population is increasing and increased. That's a very good news. But then that was a stage one. That was a stage one, and we have completed successfully that stage one. The next challenge is more important. It's like now to give them space. That means increase the size of forest, and that's the very big problem, because only forest department is incapable of doing it. Forest department has done a great job of surviving tiger, making them live and increasing their numbers. But forest department can't increase the forest land, because that is not their alone job. That is everyone's job. And there, this 130 crore makes us a big threat. 130 crore population makes us a biggest threat. See, bad news is, despite so many efforts of forest department, every year, last year 110 tigers have died. And imagine, Kavita, out of 3,000 tigers, if 110 tiger dies, if you apply that scale to 130 crore population of India, that means 4 crore deaths per year. 4 crore deaths per year. So now you can imagine the threat. And unfortunate part is that the only 30 to 40% tigers have died because of poaching, means illegal killing. Other tigers have died because of we the humans, and we are the killers of those tigers because of our wrong policies. Again, forest department alone can't make all the policies. All other departments should join the hand. It's said in our civil engineering planning that if you think about human, you will end up creating concrete jungle. If you think about vehicles, you will end up building parking lots. So unless and until you don't think about tigers and the animals, the space for them is not going to increase. And unfortunately, जैसा म्हणतात ना, एक man में दो. See, these are the photographs you are seeing on the screen. That is all because of the encroachment 130 crore is doing. A jackal put his head in some water bucket, then a leopard falling in the well to search for the water. Tigers getting killed every day, crossing railway line, crossing highways, getting electrocuted by our man-made electric fence and whatnot. So this is the worst part of it. You see, deer feasting on the garbage which has been thrown by us. All these photographs, and this is wildlife conservation. You have to think about other animals, and you have to give them space. Agreed. You should not think about. Many a times I have been confronted by the people कि अबे हमारा पेट्रोल के भाव बढ़ रहे हैं, इनकम टैक्स बढ़ रहा है, हमारा सेविंग नहीं हो रहा है और तुझे टाइगर बचाने की पड़ी है. Fine, I can understand that. Our problems will be there, but we have got other humans to think for our problems, to solve our problems. We have got urban department, we have got irrigation department, we have got water department, we have got police department, we have got law, we have got foreign policies, we have got defense ministry for us. These all are for humans. Which department is for tiger except forest department? Again, when I say tiger, it includes even a butterfly also. So each of us, unless and until don't think that apart from making my future better, wildlife is also part of my future, it is going to be very difficult. Because on one side, when 110 tigers have died, near about 4 crores, multiplying to our population ratio, people have died. At the same time, India population have been increased by 18 crores in last decade. And it is predicted that next 20 years, we will be above 150, 160 crores. This 150, 160 crore is going to need homes, going to need roads, going to need factories, going to need everything. From where the land is going to come? The land is going to come by the encouragement of tigers land. Unless and until we make a treaty between us and them, yes, this is boss, this we won't encroach on your thing.
Yes, Sanjay.
This is important aspect. And I think this is the scenario. See, when you say wildlife conservation, just don't think about present. Are 3,000 tiger hai, bad gaye, that's we are doing great. No. What is going to these 3,000 tiger, if they multiply and become 6,000, where is the place for those new 3,000 tigers?
So true. Yes.
If you don't think that, then believe me, the tigers and every other animal will remain in Yogita's puppet show only.
Wow. Thank you so much, Sanjay. I think our audience is pretty stunned with some of the facts that you have been saying to us. I think it will genuinely make us a little more sensitized towards what we thought was Save the Tiger. So for all our enthusiasts here, do you know what is the biggest difference between humans and animals? Every animal lives by its need, not greed. And if only we could learn that from them. Thank you, Sanjay. This, of course, does show us the ugly side of humans' greedy nature, the kind of animals, the kind of tigers which are being shot down. Yes, but unfortunately, that is how it is. So as we end this program, a humble request to our audience, we humans do not need to protect the forests. We need to create an environment where the forests don't need to be protected. So let's join our hands and help Sanjay in this noble cause. Like we say, we do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children. So let's ensure that we return it to them in its full glory. Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you, Yogija, for taking us through the animated world of puppets and of the wonderful wildlife around us.
Kavita,
I'm sure our audience has liked it.
About this photograph, which Kavita has said in conclusion, this is the photograph I shot at Penge. A full-grown tigress walking through the herds of deer and not looking at them. Neither deer are afraid of her because they know she has eaten, she has her stomach full and she won't attack us. And even the tigress didn't look at any of the deer.
So
See,
true.
this is the difference which we should understand. We are full of our stomach and yet some Mastani shop comes in our way. We stop and get a glass of Mastani for our already full stomach. That is greed. I think this photograph I always carry on my laptop, on my desktop also and on my mobile also. Whenever I feel greedy, I look at this photograph. And then I can't conclude this show thanking to Salil, Sangeeta, and Hemangi, Aarti, Jungle Bell, Shilpa, who are my forester friends, because I alone couldn't have been done this. Entire my Sanjeevani team, as well all those forest department people, along with the guides and guards and gypsy drivers and resort people and boys working at resort, because they are the people who are actually protecting forest. And I am thankful I got a chance to serve them a bit. That's all.
Beautiful thought, Sanjay. Lovely, absolutely beautiful thought, and thank you so much for sharing all this with our audience. So before we wrap up, so like I shared previously, this is a free channel and we will be showcasing performances on 2 days every week. We have divided these performances into 3 verticals. The first is knowledge sharing or awareness. The second is performing or static arts. And the third is interactive engagements. You may have knowledge about a particular topic, which you may want to share with everyone and create an awareness about it. Be it anything, right from trees to global warming, Cartoon Network to Animal Planet, fun and games to scientific discoveries. Or You may be someone who would love to display a certain passion that you may have for maybe photography, painting, sculpting, poetry, singing, dancing, or performing arts. You may be someone who would love to conduct interactive activities. The list is endless. The possibilities are infinite. And we are here to listen to each and every one of you. That's what Glyphs says. We know you got it. You know you got it. Let the world know you got it. Glyphs is your platform. It is all about you, all for you.